Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first ever episode of the Limitless Show. And this show has been started with only one motive in mind, and that is to help you go limitless in your life, fulfill all your dreams, build your life the way you want it to be the creator of your life. And I'm very, very excited to share with you that today, the first ever guest on this show is a personality who is actually a legend. She has been doing what she has been doing since over 30 years. And she's a psychologist, she's a life coach, she's a metaphysician. I mean, the list goes on and on. So, without further ado, let me bring her on. Her name is Ritu Malhotra. So, let me just bring her on. Welcome, Ritu
Hi,
ji.
Anshu.
Hi, welcome.
Hi,
Welcome to the show.
how are you?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic, and I'm all excited to have you over here.
Me
And
too.
yeah, and before we start even the conversation, the first thing I really want to share with you and my audience is uh, the first time I actually virtually interacted with you. I saw you, your work, the things that you do. I was like completely mesmerized by your
Yeah.
personality, by the
Well,
work that
thanks so much.
you do.
Um, it's wonderful to be the first to start this show that you have so courageously started, and I think that the time is also right for more and more people to look within themselves for the answers that they have been looking outside so far.
Yes,
So it's wonderful that you're doing what you're doing, and I'm extremely happy to assist you however you would like. So
definitely.
let's talk to your audience.
Absolutely. Before I ask you questions, the first thing I want to know from you is you do so many different things. I mean, you have big tags attached to your name. So why do you do what you do? What's the reason behind it? What exactly do you do, first of all, and why do you do it?
Well, I started out. No, let me start at the beginning. That I feel that we all do what we do for very personal reasons. you know when something means a lot to us, that is how we bring in our passion to what we do, and we can share that passion with others. So why do I do what I do? First of all, what do I do? I am a emotional counselor, and I'm a metaphysician,
Mhm,
which means that I am dealing with the science of energy, which
mhm,
we all are, each one of us,
mhm,
and how to maximize the potential of energy that exists in this whole existence and environment.
mhm,
So the way it happened with me was that as a child, I was very sick,
mhm,
and I was looking for ways to help myself. There was very little available at the time, so I was on medication, very strong medication. I could not breathe very well,
mhm, mhm,
so I was. My poor mother was doing her best to help me, but not much was working. So as I grew, I could not live the kind of life which most youngsters can live. So it was imperative that something had to be done. So at that time, when the time is right, as I said, we I came across various um, uh, books, various people. Everything was pointing to the direction of helping myself,
mhm,
look towards an alternative, a new
mhm,
option.
Okay.
which could really assist me to take the next step, so to speak, in my health. So it first started with my physical health. Then I realized and learned as my study went on that all breathing problems, 90% of breathing problems, are emotional in content. They are psychosomatic. And
Correct.
that led me to the next step and the
Mm-hmm.
next step, where I started studying psychology. And then after psychology, there's another realm, which is the universe at large, that we are all part of
Correct.
this, uh, ever changing, ever moving universe. And we are a very significant part of it, all of us, you know. So that went on, and I went to America. Very fortunately, I found a group of amazing mentors and teachers, and there I realized that all this that I was studying with them was actually from the east. It actually needed to come back right here, where I am in Pune today. And
Right.
that's what gave me the clarity to come back and to start Ajna. Ajna is my center,
Right.
and I call it a center for learning. And the reason it is called Ajna and why I chose that word is because Ajna is the third eye, or the Ajna chakra, which is the center of the forehead, and that is
Right.
really where we learn from. Where we all begin to find new options in our lives. That is the
Right.
center of the brain, where we activate the pineal gland that promotes learning and promotes new
Mm-hmm.
behaviors. A
Right.
difference from what we have thought before. So,
Mm-hmm.
whatever we have thought before exists in the back of the head. It's here in our occipital area. That is where we learn to see the way we have always seen ourselves,
Right.
or
Right.
our situation. So,
Correct.
if we are going to do something new, then we have to shift the brain dominance from the back to the
Mm-hmm.
front. This is
Wonderful.
the center for learning. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, that's how it started, and here I am today. It's been 34 years. I have grown much, learned from everybody who has come my way,
Right.
and they become my teachers as well, in the role of facilitator that I am constantly conducting, because I'm really helping people help themselves.
Right.
That's the way it really is. Helping people to find the answers from themselves that they truly seek. you know
Correct. And then only it's long
so
lasting.
absolutely. So of course it requires many ingredients. One is the complete acceptance of yourself as a divine being who is really an angel in disguise.
Right.
That's, you call your talk show Limitless. Yeah,
Right.
that is how limitless we are. uh, but as life happens, we create these obstacles along the way, and that is where the game begins. you know and I want to emphasize that I do see it as a game. I do see it with more sincerity and not so seriously. you
Right.
know let's be
Yes.
playful with what we are doing here, because
Right.
it's for such a short while that we are here.
We are
you
here.
know
Right.
let's maximize, let's see where we are wasting this potential and this limitless energy.
Right.
And so I teach ways for people to help themselves in many ways, to discover how they have created the blocks, And I'm going to repeat that sentence. How
Right.
they have created the blogs. you know.
Correct.
So each one of us creates our own blogs. And so who else can remove it besides you? You know.
Besides us.
So
Absolutely.
exactly.
Absolutely.
So um, what are some of the things that you think that young people would like to know more about, Anshu?
What I see mostly amongst my audiences at very young
Mm,
age, nowadays
mm,
people are falling into depression.
mhm.
Hardly they are like 20, 22, 24, and they are already a part of depression. They have
Yeah.
anxiety issues. They are uncertain. I mean, the society has been set up in such a way, Rituki, everyone emphasizes become an engineer, become a doctor, do an MBA, you will get a secure job, you can earn good money to run your family. But no one actually teaches us in the school itself that
Yeah.
how we can be actually fulfilled in our life. So we are
Yes.
all running after wrong things, and it ends up with us being into depression and anxiety and all such things. We are struggling. So what do you
Yeah.
think is, I mean, what can we do about it?
First of all, as you rightly said, it is an education. It needs to be started. Emotional education or emotional intelligence, which has become a buzzword now, and thankfully so. Um, Emotional education begins or needs to begin in the home. And how will it begin in the home unless parents themselves are
Hmm.
emotionally intelligent in their
Absolutely.
in their relationships with the children? So uh, our learning begins in the first 7 years of our life, really.
Right.
And after that, everything else becomes uh, like robotic. We do whatever impressions have been set in the first 7 years of our life. They monitor or control the way we are going to live our life. you
Right.
know so the
Absolutely.
first, and that is where we um where the brain is like a sponge. It just absorbs everything that happens to
Right.
it in the early years. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that uh, that is given the least amount of attention. We are
Right.
so busy trying to say, oh, send your child abroad for uh, a master's, send them for higher education. But
Right.
what about what really matters? you
Yes.
know
The
so
foundation.
yeah. Now, what are we really doing today? What are as a young society, what are we heaping on our children? We are expecting them to never fail. Never. You're not
Yes.
allowed to fail.
No,
Yeah.
never.
You have to succeed. you
Yes.
have to have you have to be successful at your relationships, at your job, at the money you earn, at your health, everything. You have to be perfect. you
Yes.
know
Yes.
yeah.
Correct.
And that is a very, very stressful way to be. you know
Yes.
because nobody, none of us came here to be perfect. We are imperfectly perfect in this world, really. So uh, you know parents themselves need emotional education first, and
Yes.
then we can begin to talk about anything else. A lot of times people come and bring their young wards to me, and
Hmm.
I never work with anyone unless the parents get involved.
Okay.
you know because it
Hmm.
begins in the home. It begins in the
Correct.
home, and
Correct.
then it goes on to the school, the first years of school. And
Yes.
from then on, we have developed an image of ourselves by then.
Yes.
you know
True.
ki
True.
I am smart, or I am stupid, or I am clever, or I am beautiful, or I'm not good enough. or
Yes.
I'm not valuable.
Right.
Huh? All of this is started in the first 7 years of our lives. You know,
Correct.
so let me give you a small example. Like, something that we've probably all gone through. When we are little and we are, uh, with our, say, let's go to school and see the impressions that school gives us. So
Right.
we are there and we are encountering our classmates, and we are doing a project or we are playing a game, for instance. And when we are playing a game, someone says, "Oh, you're not doing that properly," or "You're so clumsy. We can't have you in our team. You
Right.
Let's remove the so and so from the team." Now that's
Yes.
a very, very stressful place to be. And
Very,
look within
very.
yourself. Look within
Yes.
yourself. Each of us have heard those things, and each of us has reacted in different ways. But
Right.
what I'm trying to say is that there is an impression, a very deep black spot that is
Yes. A
formed
permanent
in the
kind of a
brain.
spot. Yes. Which you are
Right?
not able to remove on your own.
Exactly. So that's where you need the help, because it is reinforced as you go. Because the stress is high, the next time you are doing that activity again, you are going to be clumsy because you're stressed out. It's not because you
Yes.
can't do it, but
Yes.
because the stress is too high. you
Yeah.
know and then it is constantly reinforced by your parents, by your teachers, by your peers, and besides society at large. And so you decide that, yeah, this is the way I am.
Yeah.
Then of course I start to compare myself to other people, and I'm never good enough. I can never be good enough then.
Yeah.
So where are we teaching our children? Where are we teaching our children to deal with anger or disappointment
Right.
or guilt? you know a, how many kids do you know who grow up with guilt
Yes.
that I'm just not acceptable the way I am? I need to do something else or be something else. I need to change in
Yes.
order for you to like me or love me or for me to be successful. you know
Yes.
so we stop even attempting things that we could very easily do. So, Anshu, my work really deals with reducing of that stress. When the brain is de-stressed completely,
Hmm.
you shift focus from back brain to front.
Wow.
Then you start making different and new choices. And
Right.
as you make new choices, which
Hmm.
I am going to assist you to do, your life changes. All the things that you felt you could never be good at, you begin to attempt. So it's like,
Absolutely.
let's take a step, one step. you
Yes.
know let's begin this game. you know
Yes, actually, to share with you, actually, the truth is we have all been there. The incidents that
Mm.
you were talking about in school times, at home,
Yeah.
we all have faced that. We all
Yeah.
have grown in these environments, and we just knew that we had to study the same history, geography, science in school. We need to rectify all those things, and we need to be at the top. And there's a competition, heavy competition is there. We need to really excel at whatever we are doing and become something, and again
Yeah.
be successful in everything we are doing. So imperfection is not acceptable, failure is not acceptable. I remember, Ritu, that when I was in school and I had once gone to give an audition in a school choir or something, and I was
Mm.
rejected. I ran from there to the
Mm.
classroom, and I didn't want to face anyone. I
Yeah.
felt like, oh my God, what have I done? I was not selected. It was such a
Yeah.
shameful thing to me. So,
Yeah.
but then no one teaches us, Rituki, we can actually change this. It's not who we
Exactly.
are.
Mm. And the crux of what I teach is that, where there is guilt, or shame, there are also there is also an equality in your own self. There is
Yes.
also a confidence. There is also a power that you can harness right now. You can
Right.
bring that interest that is there already. I don't have to inject it into you. It already exists within you. It's just that we
Yes.
have covered it up with that image that only we have formed, you know, in that stressful moment. So
Right.
once the stress is gone, we begin to discover that, oh my God, this pride that I feel, or this protection that I have, is actually mine.
Right.
I have created it. This willingness that I have has always been there. I just never saw it. So
Correct.
कहीं बाहर से नहीं लाना है वो.
बिल्कुल,
Huh? In
बिल्कुल.
fact, in fact, nothing that you can use exists outside of you.
Outside of you.
It doesn't
Right.
come from anywhere else. It doesn't come from the outside. So, what I am teaching is responsibility, not the way you have used this word always, but an ability to respond to
Right.
life's situations
Right.
in a different way. Let's discover that choice. And
Right.
how often will my work start by someone saying, what else could I do? I didn't have a choice.
Yes,
You
absolutely.
know,
I mean, all
I'm
the
so
time.
helpless. I didn't have a
Yes.
choice. And
Yes.
to that my answer always is that this no choice is a choice that you are making. You're making a choice to be
Right.
helpless right now.
Yes.
You understand? you know
Yes,
and a lot
absolutely.
of us, yeah, a lot of us spend our entire lives living in those helpless states.
Helplessness, victimized state,
Yeah.
a victim
So
of this life. Yes.
as I laughingly say that I'm an emotional surgeon. I do emotional surgery, and I do
Right.
bloodless brain surgery actually,
Right.
where
Right.
we are addressing the programming. It's a program, it's like a computer
Yes.
program that we
Yes.
have programmed into ourselves, into our brains. And by the work that I do, uh, we are editing, deleting, and reprogramming that
Right.
emotion, that event. Yeah, my response to that event is going to change. वो इवेंट चेंज नहीं होगा, क्योंकि वो जो टीचर ने कहा या वो पेरेंट्स ने कहा या दुनिया ने कहा, वो तो हो गया. We are not going to change that. But
Correct.
how am I allowing that to become an obstacle in my everyday life?
Right.
You know, that is what we are addressing.
So,
Yeah.
can you throw
So
some
by
light on
editing,
how do you do it?
well, my method is a little different. Of course, I primarily start with identifying how much stress do you have?
Hmm.
What do you want to do? I
First of
first
all.
ask my client कि तुम्हें
Right.
करना क्या है? क्या चाहते हो तुम? Now,
Mm-hmm.
what is it that you would really make you happy? Yeah.
Right.
So when they can say that, articulate that, then we find out how much stress do you have on this thing that you want to do and are not able to do. So once you identify the stress, you also see, भाई यहाँ पे motivation कितनी है? हमें motivation increase करनी है ना? You know?
Right.
So what is coming in the way of increasing this motivation? It's a feeling. So you identify that feeling. Ki
Right.
what do you feel right now? Do you feel resentful? Are you angry? Are you
Right.
disappointed? Yeah, yeah. Do you feel unimportant? What do you
Yes.
feel? So
Very
once
important.
I
Yes.
identify that, you
Hmm.
know, then I go to the other side and I say, ki, Acha, what is the other side of unimportance? Let's look at that,
Right.
which you have within you. So
Yes.
then we go to areas where this importance is there. We visit those places that we have not visited for a long, long time. you know.
Right. So
and
wonderful.
and then we go back in your time track, you
Mm-hmm.
know, perfectly conscious. It's not hypnosis or anything. We
Right.
go back in your memory time track, and we
Mm-hmm.
see ki bhai, ye 3 year old, what did this 3 year old go through? Or when he was 5, what happened to this little girl, you know, that made this impression? And we
Right.
work over there. We work over there because that is where the cell has programmed this. That is
Right.
the cause.
Cool. Yeah.
So in my work, I am only looking at the cause of a particular imbalance, not the imbalance itself. वो तो है ही, yeah.
Right.
But let's see कि उसकी जड़ क्या है.
Yeah.
जब
Till the
हम
time
जड़ पे
you,
जाते हैं,
yeah, root
you know,
cause is
so
very
we go
important.
right into the root cause and we begin to edit, delete, and reprogram right from there, you know,
Right.
and you are doing all the work. I'm just pointing the way to you. You're doing it right there with me, you
Right.
know. And this is
Correct.
another thing. This is another thing, Anshu, that we can, of course, do it alone, but it really helps to add another, uh, you know, another more perceptive energy
Yes.
to that stressful moment. So
Yeah.
when my energy is connected to yours, we make
Right.
a higher energy. Yeah.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
we are able to go beyond this hurdle that has been plaguing, us for most of our life.
Yes.
So ऐसा ही है. And it's not very, it's very light. The session is quite playful, and we
Okay.
begin to laugh at ourselves a lot because
Okay.
it's not a very serious business. We've made it very serious,
You have
you
made
know.
it serious.
And
Correct.
I help people see the craziness of their lives. See, I mean, I actually did that. I actually thought that, and people begin to laugh at themselves because none of us wanted to do this. It was just our reaction
Yes.
to whatever life gave us, you know.
Yes.
So,
Correct. Because no
yeah,
one taught us that we are not victims. We are the creators of our destinies. That's the
exactly.
lack of
Exactly.
awareness. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And you know
Ritu,
what?
yeah.
Anshu, everyone needs to eventually see that this whole life that I am living is actually my movie.
Right.
You know, it's my movie. And I am the director of this movie.
Right.
I'm also the producer. I'm also the,
Actor.
I have put I'm the casting director. I have
Right.
cast all these people in my drama, you
Hmm.
know, and I can decide now whether I want to be a bit player in this movie or I want to be the star.
I want to be the best
You know,
star. Absolutely.
what do you want to be? We
We
can then
actually
find
lead
ways
all
to
our
do that.
lives as side actors. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
probably as chai walas, serving tea
Yeah,
because
yeah,
we don't know
exactly.
we can be stars.
Exactly. So these are some of the things that are missing in our education. They
Yes.
were completely missed. And we struggle, we fall, we do our best to get up again. And some of us don't get up, you
Yes.
know,
We never do.
because
We
there's
never do. Yeah.
because of the stigma that is attached to any kind of emotional work
Yes.
in our countries, particularly. Yeah, because we
Particularly.
were
Yeah.
expected to be perfect. We didn't, problems are not permissible, you
Yeah.
see. So my whole work is focused on removing that stigma, you know,
Right.
and sharing with people that it's an extremely courageous act to help yourself, to learn to
Right.
help yourself,
Hmm.
you know, and to look at the treasure trove of the gifts that exist within you,
In you. Yeah.
you know. that we have all come here to learn to use, uncover, and share. Really, you
So
know,
that actually
and
brings me to the question, Rituki. Are there, I mean, say, suppose you have done it with 1,000 people. Out of those
mm,
1,000, are there any such cases also where you have not been able to help them because of certain factors within themselves?
it's always themselves. But I would say that when when you speak a very sincere and basic truth, when you show someone that that feeling that they are searching, that they really want,
Hmm.
exists within them, my rate of being able to facilitate people's ability to help themselves, I would say, is 95%.
Wow,
you know
that's an awesome
because
number. Yeah,
the work is gentle. It has no
right.
medication or
Abs-
anything. We
right,
are addressing the self created limitations. Yeah,
right,
that
right,
that so I only address stress in the body,
right.
yeah, and in the brain. So as the two brain hemispheres start to balance, you know you'd be surprised how memories come up. You'd be surprised how the options just start flooding the brain, you know and that is what I am helping you navigate in a
Right,
very gentle and a non-intrusive way.
right,
You're not forced to do anything.
correct.
It's an inspiration. The work is an inspiration. There's no forcing here. Yeah.
Yes,
So, because, you know, we all want the same things, really. You know,
yes.
we all want peace. We all want to be happy. We all want to be valued,
Valued,
in
appreciated.
ourselves,
Yes,
appreciated. We all want the same thing, no matter where we are
no
in the
matter.
world.
Yes,
Whether you're
yes,
sitting in India or in Timbuktu, you still
right,
want the same things, all of us.
right,
So, you know, uh, this is in fact the language of emotion.
right.
And we all feel disappointment or joy or exuberance or enthusiasm the same way as someone sitting on the street of New York does.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely.
that is a language that is universal. So,
Right,
why are we spending so much of our energy in not addressing that, in not learning that language for ourselves? So, that
right.
is where I come back to the same thing, that when a child is taught in the early years of her life to be self reliant,
Yes,
to look within herself, to see the value of her life, no matter where she is, uh, things will change.
yes,
Our society will change. I think that more and more it's happening. I've seen it in my work. When I first started 34 years ago, everyone told me that I was, well, it was an uphill task, that I would never
yes,
be able to do what I've set out to do.
yes,
But and it wasn't easy at all, to let people know that uh, they are angels in disguise.
right,
It's
right.
it's not easy. People don't believe. It's tough to get through that belief system. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But now I am very happy to see that more and more younger people, my whole client base has changed. More younger people, because of the exposure that they have, and because
Yes,
of the increased level of competition and anxiety, of course,
yes,
that
yes,
people are being forced to look at themselves in various ways. So
yes.
what I do is like a feedback, a biofeedback. I
Okay.
test your body for what
Mm-hmm.
you really. I don't necessarily ask you verbally. Because if I ask you verbally, we are all used to saying, if I ask you, Anshu, how are you? You'll say, oh, I'm fine.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
I'm fine.
Yes.
Everyone
Yes.
says I'm fine. But we're
Yes.
not really fine. You know,
Yes.
there are all
Yes.
those little closeted emotions that would
Yes.
be really helpful for us to
Yes.
address in a very non judgmental and safe space. Yeah. Because I know how stressful it is. I've been there. I've
Yes.
done that. I've been to that place and I haven't forgotten it. I don't let it overpower me anymore because I can put it back in its place. And
Right.
another thing I want to share on this whole perfection thing is that, uh, you know, all those events that happened that created those memories, the
Mm-hmm.
memories are still there in the body. Yeah.
Right.
Even though we have the remnants of that memory will always remain. And
Okay.
in our low points, they
Mm-hmm.
tend to come back. But with this kind of work, you know, your turnaround time is very quick.
Okay.
You know,
And
you
that's
will
what
not
makes the
hang out in
difference.
that space.
Yeah, for a
You will
long
not
time.
stay there, or you will not go off the edge as you
Right.
did earlier.
Right.
You know, you will not let a crisis happen. This is preventive. Emotional
Absolutely.
education is a preventive and a must.
It's a must.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
really agree.
So anyway, that's what I'm doing. That's
So
yeah.
now tell me, I in one of your videos I had heard that when you were like so sick and everything, and your self image was like completely low at probably a
Yeah.
minus level. So
Yeah.
what kind of effort you required, and what was the inner motivation for you? Because people have problems, but they lack that self motivation to push themselves to be what they can be. So what was
Yeah.
that motivation that helped you go ahead?
You know, there are two ways I want to answer that. One is that you know, you need to look at, or you need to um, have a mentor or a counsel, or an emotional counselor or someone who can help you look at how, the larger picture of who you are. Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
in that a very very important part of that large picture is intention.
Yes.
Ki, what the power of intention, I cannot say enough how that is a starting point. you know
Right.
so when I ask someone, what do you want, I'm actually asking them to put an intention out there into
Right.
the universe that
Yes.
will magnetically attract a answer.
Right. Right.
अरे उसे उसे कहो तो सही.
हाँ, मांग के तो
Take
देखो.
that one step. you know
Yes.
so
Yes.
that intention that you are going to put out there is going to magnetize the right kind of book, person. You and that's what they say coincidences are, though I don't believe there are coincidences. The fact that you and I are talking today is not a
Yes.
coincidence. We
Yes.
have put an intention out there. Me
Yes.
looking for platforms to speak on, and you to start your channel,
Yes.
right? So it
Right.
takes two to do that. So
Yes.
when we put an intention out there, because we are magnetically connected, we will
Yes.
attract to ourselves whatever kind of intention we are putting out. So check your
Yes.
intentions.
Yes.
you know
I
Check
agree.
your
Totally agree.
intentions.
Yes.
you know so I met because of that intention, because I was so frustrated and fed up. I had come to the end of the line, and I could see my life being lived like that for
Hmm.
God knows how many years, until someone came along and showed me the value of this life,
Right.
huh? And told me in very simple ways that, this life is an opportunity only, one more opportunity. Uh, if we learn to use that opportunity, our lessons will not come back. But if we don't, existence is so powerful and so benevolent that it will keep on bringing the same lessons to you over and over and over again,
Right. Till we
you know,
learn.
till we learn. Yeah.
Right.
So, this existence does not punish. It doesn't even reward, actually. We reward ourselves. But
Yes.
there is no punishment here. I keep saying existence because that's my kind of God. But whatever you say, that
Right.
God has not made you a victim. That's your idea. We
Yeah.
didn't come here to suffer.
Right.
We came here to have a good time for as long as we are still here,
Right.
you know?
And evolve,
So,
actually.
and really,
Yeah.
who talks to us like this? Who talks to us with these kind of absolutely basic rules of life
Right.
or rules of this game, you know? So we are stumbling along and tripping and falling and doing our best to get up again, but sometimes we succeed, and if our intentions are good, someone will come along or something will happen that will get us on our way again, you know
Right.
so I'm extremely positive about this whole process, and in having been able to see this game that we are playing here in an entirely different manner, has changed my life completely. You know, uh, it has shown me that we create our own problems. You know,
Yes.
and what choice do I have right now? Do I have another choice? And if I don't, then it is my responsibility to find that choice, because a choice exists. It exists, you know.
It's just sometimes
So
we require someone to tell us that we have a
and
choice.
as I said, when you do something like this, the work that I'm doing, you are first of all reducing your stress level because you're finding a choice. You know,
Yes.
what else can I do beside, uh, feel sorry for myself
Yes.
or live in
Beside
self pity for the
helplessness.
rest of
Yeah.
my days? You see.
Yes. Yes.
Hmm? It will not go away. It will chase you and it'll get stronger and stronger. So there's a long way and there's a short way. Huh? We go to a doctor, don't we, when we are sick? We go
Yes.
to a car mechanic when our car is not functioning or one of
Yes.
our
We have
gadgets
to.
is not working. We go.
Correct.
We go
We
to
have
an
to.
expert or
Yes.
someone who knows.
Right.
It's the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah. So why not? Why not seek emotional help for yourself early on?
Early on.
You know.
Yeah. You will save so much of your life. You can build that life up in that
Exactly.
time.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Wow. Wonderful. So now, if I can just ask you like one thing, I mean,
Yeah.
that you can tell them that they can
Yeah.
implement in their life,
Yes.
right away, that will
Yeah.
help them get out of this victimized mindset. What is that
Absolutely.
one thing they can do?
Okay. Since my work is primarily on brain balance, I focus a lot on the neurological processes in the brain. Uh, I want to tell everybody that a simple technique of taking one, like we have a pen light, a torch light, a small
Yes.
one, you
Yes.
know,
Yes.
if we take that torch light and we just shine it here,
Right.
you know, in between the eyebrows.
Right.
Just shine it at this distance and let the
Mm.
light shine on this gland. There's a gland here called the
Right.
pineal gland that
Right.
is
Right.
responsible for growth and learning. Yeah.
Yes.
And that
Yes.
gland, as we grow and our stress levels rise, that gland is starts to atrophy. It starts to become smaller and smaller and smaller.
Right.
Yeah. And this gland is only light sensitive. It only responds to light. Like when we say,
Okay.
aha, I see the light now. When we
Okay.
understand
Yes.
something, for
Yes. Yes.
instance,
That breakthrough
that means
kind
the
of a moment.
light goes
Yes.
on. Huh? You say, aha, I
Right.
see the light. Or I
Yes.
understand it now. Oh,
Right.
now I know what you're saying. That means that this pineal gland is activated. So, in
Right.
order to activate it more,
Hmm.
just shine this light
Hmm.
for 1 minute at a time. Only one
Okay.
minute.
Okay.
1 minute in the morning and 1 minute before you go to bed.
Okay.
Yeah? And that should make a significant difference in the choices you make, in the stress level in your brain. And
Hmm.
that simple thing changes a lot. This is my personal experience, of course.
Wonderful. So, do we
You
close
can
our
you
eyes
can
while doing that?
you can close your eyes while doing that. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And also, you can read up on the pineal gland. See how
Yes.
important it is. Read
Yes.
up. Today, everything is on your fingertips anyway.
Absolutely.
So read
Absolutely.
up and research for yourself, you know, and
Yes.
then do it. But just do it. It can't harm you. Yeah? It can only help.
Definitely. It can only help.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys have listened to what I'm saying. I hope that you will use some of it. And I'm always here. You can reach out to me. My email is ritulifecoach at gmail.com, RITU, life coach. And we have a website that you can visit and leave me a message on our website. And that is ajnacenter.org. AJNA, Ajna Center, CENTER.org. And I look forward to hearing from you.
Yes, yes. I'll be sharing all
Okay.
of this information in the description as well. So
Thank you.
anyone who wants to connect with Ritu, they can take that information up and connect with her. And please, I mean, take help. I think it was a fantastic
Yeah, I
session.
think
Thank you
so.
so much. It's a privilege to have you here, and I feel it was very,
And
very enlightening.
all the success to you, Anshu. I hope
Thank you
that
so much. Thank
you
you.
experience the limitless intention that you
Yes,
have put out. Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much. And I wish
Wonderful
you
to be
also
here.
all the best. Yes, same here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye bye. So, hope it was a good, enlightening session for you guys. Do you know imbibe the things that she has shared with you? I think it was like superb, and I hope you really implement it in your lives and you become limitless, and that is my intention for you. I wish you all the best, and I'll meet you next week with yet another enlightening personality. So see you then. Bye bye.